There's a hijab style that I have in my scarf styles video, my hijab styles video that I've posted up, and it's of me wearing a silver hijab with like a silver and white sari. I've had so many requests since I put that video up to show how to wear a hijab with a sari, and so finally, after many promises that I made, I finally decided to record it. This is the hijab style. This is the exact method that I used on that day. I actually remember that method because it's the same method I use every time I wear a sari. So I don't really switch up my sari hijab styles because I'm happy with how the hijab styles that I do look on the saris. So I don't really vary it at all. I mean, when I show it to you, you'll see yourself. It's a very simple style. You can see there isn't much happening. You probably already do this style. You probably already know this style or know of girls who do this style, but it's the style that I love most. Saris are very glamorous and they're fabulous. And in order to maintain that fabulousness and keep the attention on the sari and not on the wacky hijab style, it's important that the hijab style is simple if that's what you're going for. This hijab style is also very neat, so there aren't bits of hijab draping across here or folding across there or anything like that, because a sari, you know, will drape across your chest like this anyway, and so if you have too many drapes and too much material happening up here, it will just look too much. There needs to be some simplicity somewhere in your look when you wear a sari, especially if it's a very nice glamorous sari. The other thing that's very important, because this hijab style is quite high up and there isn't much coverage at the front and back, it's very important that you ensure that if you're having a new blouse made for your sari and you're a hijabi, make sure that you tell the tailor to keep the neckline very high and to try and keep the sleeves as long as possible. It's very rare nowadays that you'll be able to make sari blouses with full length sleeves, extremely rare, and so what you would need to do is wear detachable sleeves inside, which is what I do as well. The neckline being higher and making sure that you drape the sari quite high as well, you know, when you bring that material over your chest, keeping that quite high will ensure that everything is covered from the front and from the back with the sari. But obviously you have to tie it in a way that's going to cover you. Please be really careful when you wear your saris if they're see-through, because you know, you may feel like you're covering everything with material, but if the material is see-through, you're going to be able to see your belly through, you're going to be able to see, you know, your chest area through, so you've got to also make sure that the material is appropriate. As you can see, this style won't allow for earrings to be worn, but if you want, you can always pull this back, yeah, get a bit creative, and then wear earrings if you like, if you are an earring lover. So I hope this tutorial is useful to you guys. Okay, so to start off with, I've placed the hijab on my head about halfway along the length. I've also folded in the hijab a couple of inches, brought the scarf around my face, and I'm going to pin it under the chin using a no snag hijab pin. Now I'm going to create a diagonal fold on one side like this, so it's coming around diagonally. I'm going to take it around my face like this, and remember, the point of this style is that it's very neat looking, and so there aren't going to be too many drapes and fancy things happening. So I'm making sure that this comes around very sort of neatly around my face like that. I'm going to pin down up here. Okay, now that that's pinned and neatly tucked behind, I'm going to bring the other side round my face. And again, I just tucked it in like this to ensure that everything is neat. As I bring it around, I'm going to make sure, again, this bit is not too drapey, and if I find that there's too many folds that are appearing, I need to make sure that they are removed or covered. Just making sure they're all covered, and so it's, you see, it's a neater front without too many drapes and folds. So I've brought it around. Now you're going to have a little bit, depending on the size of your scarf, you're going to have, this one is, I believe, 170 centimeters long, and like I said, I placed it in the middle of my head, and so this is the perfect length really. I've got just the right amount of fabric here, and what I did in that picture was I took the fabric and I kind of just pinned it down like that. And I'm going to use one more pin. Okay, now I'm going to make sure, now that everything's pinned down, before I complete the style, I'm just going to tuck this part under, again, to neaten up the style. to reduce the number of folds, like that, you see. And then I'm just going to pin under here as well, so that the bit at the front is smooth rather than folded with too many drapes. So I'm just going to pin one more time under here as well. Now with that style that I had on in that picture, I'd actually just pinned the hijab down like this. But at this point you can do so many things. You can twist it and pin it down like that. You can leave it like that. You can put a brooch here to hold the hijab in place. It's up to you, really. I think I'm going to twist it like this and just bring it around like that. Again, I'm trying to sort of tuck this under here and then pinning under here. And as far as this is concerned, I kept that plain on purpose, kept that quite simple. And around here, you're not going to find that it's flat because we had a hijab part coming under it. When it came under here, it's not going to sit flat. It's still going to be a little bit raised. You see, like that. That's it. That's really how I like to keep my hijab style when I wear a sari. So I hope that was useful to you guys. And give it a go. Let me know how you get on. Toodles.